Hi, I'm Nina Kelleher. Becoming a public company through an acquisition by a SPAC has increased in popularity over the last 2 years as an alternative to the IPO route. With over 300 sponsors that have filed with the SEC for an IPO and more than another 500 SPACs waiting to search for a target or waiting to complete a transaction, it's no wonder I receive a lot of inquiries from tech and life sciences companies about how they can best be positioned to be acquired by a SPAC. Oftentimes, when I'm called in for advice, I start by asking if their company is ready to operate as a publicly traded company. If the answer is no, then there's still some work to be done before the company is ready to go public via a SPAC. What I find is there is often a misconception in the marketplace by target companies wanting to tap into the capital markets through a SPAC, in that the target company doesn't have to be as mature or go through the same regulatory requirements than it would via the traditional IPO route or through a direct listing. This just isn't the case. Once the de-SPAC process is completed, the company will be publicly traded, and the route to get there, whether traditional IPO, SPAC, or direct listing, the regulations on a publicly traded company are the same. It's true that the timeline to go public via a SPAC is typically shorter. So with that, it is critical that the target company can show the sponsor they are essentially operating as a public company. Let's go over some key considerations that a tech or life science company that wants to be acquired by a SPAC should keep in mind. Accounting and tax considerations. Are my tax and accounting departments adequately prepared for the transition to become a public company? Do relevant personnel maintain the competence to apply and adhere to more complex accounting standards? Do my current policies and procedures account for highly scrutinized areas such as revenue recognition, lease accounting, and equity-based compensation? Financial statement preparation. Assessing the financial statement preparation procedures of a target company is one piece of the financial health puzzle. The items I encourage companies to think about are my company's financial statements prepared to be in compliance with the SEC reporting requirements? Do my company's financial statements include the required levels of disclosures, footnotes, and management discussion and analysis? Is my company prepared to develop pro forma financial information in accordance with the future SPAC transaction? Compliance with required filings and registrations. Once public, there is a whole new set of acronyms to learn: AICPA, PCAOB, and the SEC, and more. Converting audit standards and considering various independence rules can be a challenge. Some questions to consider include: have we converted the audit of our financial statements to comply with PCAOB standards? Is our auditor a PCAOB registered public accounting firm that is independent under both the SEC and PCAOB independence rules? Is my company prepared the necessary registration statements? Internal controls and Sarbanes-Oxley compliance. Companies will need to assess their internal control environment and the ability to comply with SOX requirements. I encourage companies to try answering these questions, among others, regarding internal controls to better evaluate their readiness. Some questions to consider include: are policies and procedures for key areas of my business related to financial reporting formally documented? Has management established clear lines of reporting and an effective tone at the top? Are periodic assessments performed to identify risks relevant to my organization's achievements of objectives? Lastly, cybersecurity and information technology. There's so much here for companies to consider. but at the core of having a sound IT infrastructure that has the ability to scale with the expected growth as a result of the newly injected capital from going public is paramount, along with a robust cybersecurity posture. These are just a few of the key areas that tech and life sciences companies should consider when assessing their readiness to go public via SPAC. To learn more, visit our SPAC's Knowledge Center or start a conversation with us.